I'm David Fleming from the Disciples Ignited YouTube channel, where we are focused on Jesus, advancing his kingdom, and preparing his disciples. Now we're studying the wilderness journey, how the Lord delivered the Israelites from their slavery in Egypt, took them miraculously through the Red Sea, and then into the wilderness, where he is going to prepare them so that he will be able to lead them into the promised land. Well, we've been studying as of late the miraculous deliverance through the Red Sea, and immediately after the Red Sea incident, we find Moses singing a song of triumph and praise to the Lord, which is found in Exodus chapter 15. There are so many verses in this chapter that I have personally memorized and that I would encourage you to memorize too. Yesterday, we studied Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. The Lord is a warrior. The Lord is his name. And going in that same theme, I want to give to you Exodus chapter 15, verses 7 and, well, really 7. In the greatness of your majesty, you threw down those who opposed you. You unleashed your burning anger. It consumed them like stubble. Wow. That is powerful. That reveals the power of the might of God, who has already revealed himself, as Moses saying, the Lord is a warrior. But what struck me about this verse is it says, you threw down those who opposed you. Well, Moses is speaking about the Lord. And he's saying, Lord, you threw down those who opposed you. Well, when was the Lord opposed? Well, when Pharaoh and his army came against God's people, the Lord took it personally. To touch the Lord's people, he considers it an affront against himself. And really, who's behind all this? Well, the enemy, Satan himself, is using Pharaoh and the Egyptians to come against God's people, because in touching God's people, they are touching the Lord. And so we find in this, the Lord is a warrior. He is not to be trifled with. And when you touch the Lord's people, you are opposing the Lord himself. Now, the Lord did give the Israelites instantaneous deliverance that day at the Red Sea. That's not always the case. He didn't always give them instantaneous deliverance. Sometimes they suffered greatly. And sometimes Christians today are persecuted and suffering. Some are even martyred. But yet, when everything is said and done, we need to remember, when the Lord's people are opposed, the Lord takes it personally. And we can take assurance that he will take care of his own. Be encouraged. Jesus is with you. He is a mighty warrior. And when you are bothered by the enemy, when the enemy comes against you, you can imagine from this scripture, the Lord is angry against the enemy, and he will come and oppose him on your behalf. Thank God for Jesus, a mighty warrior he is. We'll talk tomorrow.